Hi, Gina. I'm so glad you're tuning in for the first time. We had a couple technical difficulties, so we figured it out. Sometimes, that's just the way it goes. Thank you all for asking. The tech guy is feeling much better. He got his second shot of the vaccine last week, and I got mine yesterday. So I am not feeling so great. I had a rough night last night, let's just say that. But I'm so grateful to be vaccinated. And that's one of the many reasons that I have my glasses on. I would say I'm at like 70% tonight. But I absolutely had to be here with you all. I also did not think this is how I often operate. I hydrated like crazy before my second vaccine, like more than a cross-country marathon runner, and I still ended up with a sleepless night of chills and body aches and all that fun. But that's okay because it just means my body's doing what it's supposed to do, right? And yes, the tech guy is great. He's all good. And I thought it was fun to bring back. I don't know if anybody remembers, this was the very first song we started with a year ago when we did our very first story collaboration live. Hey, good job. Rare Love by Cody Francis. So yeah, there we are again. We get to bring back
George.
What does George say? Turns you into a romance writer? That's so funny, George, because I was just talking to my sister and I was like, I think I need to write a romance now. No, I'm not going to write a romance. Don't worry. I might write a rom-com at some point, but romance is a whole other ballgame. That's probably not my skill set. So tonight I'm going to take you on a tour of Ashland, which is a real place. We live in it. We're physically here in Ashland, and you all are going to come on a virtual visit with me. And I'm so excited to show off what Ashland looks like in the spring and basically anytime. Oh, Terry, you got yours yesterday. How are you feeling? My arm's still a little stiff, but I think now it's more the idea that I'm just tired because I didn't sleep well last night. Yes, I'm all glad to be vaccinated. I can't wait to like hug people and kiss my niece on the lips and all that good stuff. The heaving bosom, yeah, totally, Jamie. The bodice rippers, right? I love it. Anyway, I feel like people in Ashland know what we're up to tonight because I have been taking pictures all around town for the last couple weeks. And what I love about spring, and I'm really particularly aware of it this year, is just that it's so fleeting. Like the color is here, and then, if a rainstorm comes, all of those beautiful cherry blossoms fall. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right to it because I have so many pictures to share. So here we are. This is... Oh yeah, I'm down here. Hello, I'm down here. I'm hanging out. Also, I should say too, feel free to ask any questions that you might have about Ashland or the books, etc. as we go through our tour tonight. Just if you have a specific question or something, put a Q or a question mark in front of it so the tech guy knows. Let's see. Okay, so this is as you're coming into Ashland, the tulips are blooming. You're on the beautiful hills there. I talk a lot in this series about the plaza and this idea of community and that connection that people have. Cindy, your boys went to the Shakespeare Festival with their AP classes. Yes. Hopefully they'll get to come this year too. One of my favorite memories of high school was getting to come to Ashland for the Shakespeare Festival. It's an amazing trip. So the plaza is really just a beautiful, charming collection of all family-owned shops and restaurants. Actually, we might have to have like a little quiz. I said I might have a bonus giveaway. So I'm calling an audible right now for the tech guy. If anybody knows what book this is from, I'm going to give you a Bake Shop Ice Cream Lovers sticker collection. So in one of the Bake Shop books, there is a chain restaurant that tries to move into town called Shakesburgers, and it has like neon lights and it's super gaudy and it's a chain restaurant. And I heard from so many readers like, oh my gosh, that's so funny because there's a whole murder involved, of course, with a chain restaurant moving into Ashland. But that is true. So in the plaza, there are no chains whatsoever. There are no big box stores. It's all family owned. There's no neon. It's all a very charming and Shakespearean. This is looking down the street. So the building that you see in the distance with the blue, that's just a few shops down from where Tort would be. And of course, if you're in Ashland, I hope you see what's there. You always run into herds of deer. And the joke is always whether or not tourists or deer cross the street better. And it's definitely deer. Usually they cross at the crosswalk. I'm not even kidding. Shakes Burgers. Yes, totally. It was not chilled to the cone, Sharon. Although, I mean, I do think I talk about it on multiple occasions, but there's a whole book based on the idea that a chain restaurant would just even fathom to come and taint our beautiful plaza with its neon gaudy lights. I think the pun was, our burgers make your buns shake, and there was like a little sign. Anyway, I had fun with that one because it's true. That's not even fiction. So this is actually taken from my office. So we're not on the plaza now, but I just had to say that oftentimes when I am writing, because deer are all over Ashland, they are abundant, I will look up and suddenly see a deer like this beauty just staring me down. Lenny, your daughter had deer run through her grocery store. That's a whole nother level. Wow. Okay, so this is another setting that makes its way quite often into the books, Lithia Park. I'm trying to think of how many murders there have been in the park. I know that Jules is often in the park, and multiple times she has been threatened by people who are trying to stalk her. This is the view. Yes, it was caught red-handed. Did somebody get it? Fonda. Yes, good job. Caught red-handed. Caught red-handed is when Shakes Burgers moves in. Nice Yoda, by the way. Or is it Grogu? I'm not sure. Oh gosh, that's what we're gonna do next week. Good job. So Fonda, those are going to you. So this is looking up at the campus of OSF. You can see just like a little faint hint of the Elizabethan Theater right there. And this is the lower duck pond. Or actually, no, we're not quite to the lower duck pond. This is just, if I go back, it's just the other view from this side of the park. There's the sign, yeah. So this is just what I'm saying in terms of Ashland putting on such a show of color right now, because every time I walk in the park, there's like a new tree that's blossomed. And then the other thing that I think is so interesting is that if you can see in the distance there, the mountain ranges are right there in town. So if you start in Lithia Park, you can wind your way up into the National Forest very, very quickly, which is amazing. We shared this picture a while ago, but we took this in Lithia Park a week or two ago. So my books were blooming amongst all the beautiful daffodils and the trees. And it is breathtaking, isn't it? I love that I'm getting to show you this because I feel like even in the pages of my books, I never get to do Ashland true justice. Lithia Park it's on par with like Central Park in New York. It's so well designed. There are pathways and bridges like this. This is Ashland Creek that's running below it. The creek flooded in the mid 90s and shut down, like it flooded all of the businesses in the plaza, which is another true thing that is worked into the books. The basement of Tort, where I imagine Tort to be, flooded completely. And it crushed town. Yeah, what were you gonna say? Oh, the fall colors, Lori. Yes, I'm gonna have to do another one in the fall to show you what it looks like. This is another peekaboo view of looking up into the Elizabethan Theater. And you kind of get a sense of the campus that way. Oh, Julie, that's a great question. Would you ever include drawings or pictures in the book? You know, that's all a publishing arm sort of thing. So I would love to. I'm working on the idea of trying to create a map of my version of Ashland, all of which are inspired by real places. Some names I change or I tweak a little bit. This is the back entrance to the Elizabethan Theater, and it just gives you that really beautiful Shakespearean vibe. And then this is looking inside the stage. This was from a play a few years ago because, of course, sadly, the theater is not open right now, but it is amazing. And when and if you can travel again, I highly recommend you come and you see a show, even if you don't like Shakespeare. I mean, I think seeing Shakespeare on the stage it's a totally different experience than reading it. I was talking to a friend about this a while ago. And OSF offers tons of other shows, but it's so incredible. I always talk about the fact that you're underneath the stars watching this beautiful show. This is the Upper Duck Pond, where bodies have definitely been found in the past. And there's definitely in my book. Yeah. Oh yeah. The tech guy says in my book. So this is all in my books. We're talking fictional murder. Ashland is a very charming, safe, lovely place to stay. Okay. Julie wants to know, where's the best place to stay when visiting? Oh my gosh. That's such a great question. There are so many fabulous options. I always think you should stay at one of the Airbnbs because not far off the plaza, there are tons of Airbnbs. I have friends who, you could stay in an Airbnb too, sorry, B&Bs, because the hosts know everything and they'll tell you where to go and they do these beautiful breakfasts. Okay, come on, everybody, am I wrong to say that this is just stunning? I will also say that when I'm walking this loop, this is a loop that I walk almost every day, I always stop and just take in that beautiful sight. So I know. Not till fall. The plan is to open in a small way in the fall, but as of yet, we haven't heard fully. But yes.
And this is true too.
Yeah, Fonda, that's such a great point. There are more shows than just Shakespeare. There are multiple stages with OSF, so there's something for everyone. Okay, so this wrapped up the upper part of Lithia Park. The Japanese gardens are also getting a revamp right now, so I didn't take pictures of that because there's like a $1.2 million revamp and expansion that's happening that I think finishes in 2022. So that'll be another reason to show you that when it's done. These are beautiful blossoms looking at Ashland Springs Hotel, which is downtown. This is Ashland's one and only skyscraper. That's the biggest building in the plaza. And then you're looking farther out east, which is technically not exactly east. Toward the east, though, which I talk about. These are kind of the sepia-toned hills that you see or hear me talk about in the books. Yes. Oh, Kathy, you're staying at the Winchester. Yay. We're going to see pictures of the Winchester in a while. I wrote a book that was set at the Winchester. Yes. So gorgeous. Hey, look at that timing. This is the garden at the Winchester. The Winchester is an historic inn that they actually moved the building up the hill to the location it's sitting on now, which if you visit Ashland, you can't walk anywhere without a very steep hill. You'll definitely get your steps in and your heart rate up. So many years ago in the early 1900s, they moved this historic mansion, which was actually one of the original hospitals and then mental hospitals in the area. So A Cup of Holiday Fear is set at the Winchester, obviously at a different time of the year. It's not quite so lush with flowers in A Cup of Holiday Fear because it's set at Christmas time, of course, but the Winchester has gorgeous gardens, a beautiful bar inside called Alchemy. If you're visiting, you should definitely go have a lovely cocktail or yummy dessert or something outside. Mary, I want them to make them into books too, because look, you don't even have to build a set. Just come to Ashland and film here, right? Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. Debbie wants to know if we can talk more about Lithia. Oh yeah, so I should have talked about the Lithia waters. So there's a whole history behind the healing Lithia waters that run through town. In fact, we didn't take pictures, or I didn't take pictures this time because the bubblers are off because of COVID, but there are bubblers that are in the center of the plaza that you have to drink for its healing properties when you visit. And they might be healing, but they don't taste so lovely. Let's just say that. Chris wants to know the population. The population of Ashland is about 22,000, give or take. And then SOU, the campus of SOU, which is where Bake, Borrow, and Steal, the next book that comes out after Mocha She Wrote, is going to be set. So during the main school year, then there are quite a few students who are in town for college too. I had to snap a picture of this because the Shakespearean vibe runs strong all through the plaza. So anywhere you go in the plaza, you're going to see little odes to the bard, whether it's masks or whatever. I think we should do tradesies. You come up to Stratford, Ontario. Okay, yes, let's do it. I'm in. It's a date, Lynn. Jerry Lynn says, when attending SOC, oh yeah, so it used to be called Southern Oregon College, SOC. When I was in college, that's what it was called too. And then it turned into a university. You could get discount prices. That's awesome. $2. So OSF has lots of specials and rush tickets. So if you, well, I don't know how that's going to work, I guess. But yes, historically, OSF would always have opportunities, and they do so much for the community. You know, you can bring canned food in and get like $10 tickets these days. Although, you know, that might be slightly different, I suppose, with COVID. Oh, Fonda, you got married at the Winchester? How lovely. This is just a neighborhood. I wanted to give you a sense of some of the, let me go back, some of the Victorian-inspired architecture that kind of stretched up the West Coast during the time that Ashland was really turning into a destination. And then again, just these little touches that you find all around town. There are little mini murals of the theater and Shakespeare. And I do think this is an important piece when I talk in the books about community. There really is just this sense of connection and community throughout the town. So as many of you know, we had a major wildfire here last year, and there's still tons of recovery that's happening. It didn't burn Ashland. It started in Ashland and it went north to our two neighboring towns of Talon and Phoenix. But there's an amazing nonprofit called Rogue Food Works, and they have been employing all of the restaurants. As we know, restaurants have really struggled this year with the pandemic. So they've been employing the restaurants to make meals for all of the displaced families. So it's things like that. And that would definitely be something that Jules and Tort would be involved in. Yes, Lillian wants to know, do people in the town know each other like a cozy little town in Gilmore's? Kind of, like it's pretty impossible to go somewhere and not know someone or recognize someone, for sure.
We see a lot of the same people on our walks, and we walk every
Yeah, that's true. The tech guy is saying we see a lot of the same people on our walks, and we walk all over town, but you'll see, even if we don't know them, you'll see like familiar faces and everything. I had to take a picture of the palm tree. This is just in a neighborhood, of course, because Ashland was originally known as where the palms meet the pines. So we think of Oregon as being cold and rainy, but Ashland is at the very tip, the tail end of the state. So we're really actually closer to California than we are to Portland, which is a 5-hour drive to the north. And so we're kind of that breaking point where you switch over from California to Oregon. So there are lots of palm trees throughout.
Yes, this is true that people would know each other
Yeah.
more. So
Right. Yeah, totally, Cindy. And I talk about that. Like the difference in Leavenworth is you for sure know everybody. 100%. Yeah. Again, in the background, you can kind of see just the beautiful hills, which is out where Jules has her new winery. I just, come on, how beautiful are all of the spring flowers that are blooming in the gardens. Debbie, I love Leavenworth too. It's so great. I need to do a tour of Leavenworth too. In fact, I did one the last time we went up to visit, which was like a year plus ago, but I'm hoping to get up that way for the release of the 5th book in my Sloane Krause series this October. So if that can happen, which, hopefully I think it could, then I'm definitely going to have to do a Leavenworth tour too. What's that?
The climate, that is why.
Yeah, Sabina, that is why I have a lemon tree. And I could never grow a lemon tree in Portland before, so... Yeah, at least not with as many lemons, the tech guy says. So I had to snap a picture of the little free libraries because I think that there are more little free libraries per capita than maybe even Deer. I don't know. You can't really walk more than a block without finding a little free library, and they're usually stocked. They also just opened a little free pantry downtown, which I think is such a lovely idea. So we as community members can go and donate canned goods and toiletries and anything else for, again, displaced fire victims or people in the community who might be in need. And it is staffed, so they, make sure that it stays clean. Here you go. Here's a little free library that matches the Victorian in the back. How great is that? Anna, you've got your husband hooked on the books. I love it. Go Sloane. Woohoo. Oh,
Like, I wanna meet this guy.
Debbie, the tech guy says he wants to meet your husband. That's amazing. What does he like to brew? That's what I would love to know. Yeah, here's just more of the blossoms blossoming. Oh, and this gives you a great view again. So this is about a block up from Lithia Park in a neighborhood. Ashland has a tree of the year every year. So the community votes on their tree of the year, and some of them are just these massive redwoods and sequoias and all of the pine trees. So this was a tree of the year from, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago. But it gives you a perspective of there you are in town, and then suddenly right there you are in the mountains, which is great because it's always nice as a mystery writer to have places to send Jules where, you know, she can literally get up there quickly. Yeah. IPAs.
She would use IPAs.
Oh, nice.
Husband, but then,
What?
no, go ahead.
Oh, I lost it. What did Anna say? Oh, you're a steward of Little Free Libraries? Of three? Oh my gosh, how do you keep them stocked? That's amazing. Okay, so I had to take a picture of this too, because if you've read even the first book in the series, you know that there's also kind of this funky, eclectic vibe that happens in Ashland. And it's true because not only is it a very artistic community because of the Oregon Shakespeare Festival and the Oregon Cabaret, but it's also kind of this spot where travelers, so this is not the unhoused population at all. These are kind of, you know, modern day hippies who travel around and listen.
Yes, that is a van.
Yeah, that's a van on top of the bus, right? So it is not uncommon to see these traveler buses, especially this is down in the Railroad District, which is where Chilled to the Cone was set. And so that is definitely a vibe. This was like 2 days ago when I took these pictures. So you get kind of that, well, if anyone read Wild, you have kind of a lot of, in the summer, hikers who were coming through after hiking the PCT and that part. So it's really fun. Let's see. You just bought the first Sloan Krause. Yay. There is a tree of the year. Yeah. And they're all over. There's what? Yeah, there's a tree of the year and there's a map. So if you come visit, you can go and visit all the trees of the year. In fact, I have a good friend who I want to nominate her tree for tree of the year. There are the gardens of the year, and then there are also little fairy doors. I should have taken a picture of this. There are fairy doors all around the plaza, so little kids can get maps and go find all the fairy doors. So what I want to do then is I want to have a tort map, a bake shop map, and do the same thing where you can go find all of the places, and then, I don't know, you get some kind of prize at the end. Okay, let's see. This is up by the library. And this speaks to the idea of art. So there are art installations throughout the city. This is across the street from the library, and then the fire station is on the other side. This is a labyrinth downtown, so you can walk through it and meditate. And these stones are across the street from the labyrinth, and people move them all the time. So every time I go on a walk, I'm always intrigued to see how they're going to be rearranged. And I have thought this will be a little Easter egg or early clue, I guess, for all of you. I have thought it would be fun to have some sort of clue that Jules could find in them in a future book. So stay tuned for that.
That's a pretty short stack usually.
Yeah. The tech guy's saying that's a pretty short stack. Sometimes they're super tall. Lots of art galleries. So it's not just necessarily theater people, but you have an eclectic community of artists and galleries, which is so amazing because for a town that is really small and, you know, what? You and your 6 cats. Okay, come on in. We're ready. We've got room. Anyway, for a town that's so small, there's so much culture, which is amazing to me. This is one of our favorite spots to go have a beer outside. So there you go. That's a little Gills outside. A little nod to Sloan. This is another outdoor garden. This is the Peerless, which is another beautiful hotel. The hotel just recently closed, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, but the restaurant and gardens are still open and they do incredible food. And of course, like what a gorgeous spot to go outside and have a A lovely cocktail. Oh, okay. And so I talked about this briefly. This is what I imagine Uva, the winery that Jules ends up owning in the series. If you're not there, that's not really a spoiler, but at a certain point in time, she ends up inheriting sort of a winery. And so when I wrote that storyline, I had never been to Eliana. This is the real winery is called Eliana. And I had a good friend who said, I know where Uva is. I know exactly where Uva is. And I said, no. Like, it's made up. I made it up in my mind. And then she took me to she took me to Eliana. And yes, indeed, it is exactly what I imagined Uva to be. So this is looking out into the vines, and then directly across, if you looked straight up, you would see Mount Ashland, where everybody loves to ski. I took this at a friend's yard last week just because I wanted to give you a sense of how many orchards are also, sorry, I'm still a little groggy from my shot. So if I'm jumbly tonight, I apologize. How many orchards are around? This is my friend's apple orchard, but there are pear orchards all throughout the valley. There are wineries, pear orchards, apple orchards. It's a really lush growing area and has a long history of the fruit industry. You might be familiar with Harry and David. Harry and David is just right up the road in Medford. And this is looking the opposite way at her orchard. And I had to share this because this is what spring looks like in Ashland now. That's a controlled burn that's going on. Yeah, up in the hills because of the wildfires and the danger. There are constantly controlled burns that are going on by the firefighters and the Department of Wildlife because that hopefully helps reduce our risk. But it's always a little unsettling to see like plumes of smoke, and you get text alerts every day to say like, okay, there's going to be a controlled burn here. There's going to be a controlled burn here. We've had a few in our neighborhood. So yeah. I think we have wine from there that was just sent to a friend. No way. How great is that? Toy wants to know, how did the town react when the Bake Shop Mysteries, when they first came out? Oh, that's a great question. So I wasn't living in Ashland when I wrote the first book in the series, but I talked about the fact that I grew up coming here. My dad taught Shakespeare. I came with my English class. It was always a getaway and a destination for my family. So I had an attachment to Ashland. And then, of course, once I got the book contract, I came down quite often. We would come down for like a couple weeks at a time, different times of the year to make sure that I got it right. Well, when the first book came out, I did my very first book signing at Bloomsbury, which is a great bookstore here down on the plaza. And I was so nervous because I thought, oh no, like what if I've totally gotten it wrong? I was sick to my stomach. In fact, we were driving down from Portland and there's a rest stop like 5 minutes north of Ashland. And I made the tech guy stop because I thought I was going to throw up. And I don't usually get nervous speaking to people. Like I love talking books and we're all book people, right? So anyway, I'm so nervous. I give the talk and I'm watching the audience and everybody's kind of laughing and it seems like a good talk. And I get to the end of my time limit and I say, okay, does anyone have any questions? And like every hand in the audience goes up and my stomach just sinks. I'm like, oh no, they hate it. They think I've done them wrong. But no, everyone wanted to remind me that there are no murders in Ashland. They're like, we love the book, but remember, there are no murders. This is hiking on the other side of Lithia Park. So all of the upper trails connect at certain points in time. So you could literally walk from one end of the town to the other. You could also start here and hike all the way up to the top of Mount Ashland, which is just amazing. That kind of gives you that view. And of course you can't go anywhere in Ashland without seeing the animals and the wildlife. This is my hiking buddy. This is our dog, Dot, who is an old lady now, but she loves to come out. This was wildflowers blooming last week. It's so beautiful to be out on the trails and just see those touches of color and I just love it. Oh, okay. This is a hike that we did outside of Ashland in Talent, actually. A week or two ago when my dad came down for a visit, and I don't even think this picture does it justice, but it's kind of like Sound of Music just broke out, like the hills are alive. You can kind of see in the distance the mountain range of the Siskiyous are all coated in white still, and you had these beautiful green meadows. Our kiddo wanted to roll down it, but we're like, well, that might be not such a great idea.
So really, for reference, that's California in the upper left.
Oh yeah. So the tech guys was telling me like California is in the upper left. Like that's how close we are to California. It's just like right over that hill. Yeah, exactly. I definitely want to send Jules out on a hike like this. I think in a future book, she would pack a delicious picnic, some sort of tort level, beautiful spread to take everybody out on a hike. And then of course, maybe we could see a murder somewhere in the hills. Unfortunately, that's how my murder brain works. Is there anything you don't have? It's also lovely. I know. Oh. The tech guy says we don't have an Apple store. No, we don't. We don't have an Apple store. We don't have a lot of big boxes. There are no big box stores in Ashland. You have to drive to Medford, like if you want Target, that sort of thing. I'm fine with that. Yes, Cindy, isn't it like that? Yay! I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Sharon. I just, like, because we're not able to travel, I just know that for me, books are such an escape, and they have been especially so this year, where I get to go somewhere else in the pages. So if nothing else, I hope that my books can do that for you all. And if it's not my book, please find another book. Lisa, hi. Yeah, we don't have rain. It's true. But then on the flip side, and it's funny because the tech guy and I, that's the tech guy's, am I allowed to say that?
Sure.
I might be outing somebody. That may or may not be a relation of the tech guy. Because the tech guy and I grew up in Portland, we're like waterlogged natives. It has been so different to live in a part of the state that is just pure sun most of the time. I don't think I could go back to living somewhere that's rainy all the time, but the con is, of course, the wildfire danger, and it's real. We always have a go bag packed in the summer. Like we just put the box on top of our car so we can be ready to go. And it just rained the last 2 days, and I have a newfound appreciation anytime it does rain. I'm just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is farther north. This is at the bottom of Table Rock, which I'm going to show you the top of the hike for Table Rock. This is another place that I think I could send Jules, because you could also do a picnic at the top of Table Rock, which we're going to get to in just one second. But in the distance, you can see Mount McLaughlin, which is beautiful. This is the top of Table Rock, and in the spring, you get this yellow and green vetch that goes through. It's so beautiful, and it's actually a really quick and easy hike to get up to the top of it. You find these little mini ponds, but wait for it. That's the top of the table. So the tables are flat, and then you're looking down into the valley. And that's like the northern part of Medford right there, those fields that you see. Oh, Samantha. Yay. I'm so glad you found him. You're on book 4, which means you're right in the middle of Caught Red-Handed, which is Shakespeare. So there you go. And this is a view from another hike. There are so many hikes, and that's why I definitely have it in my head that Jules has got to go hiking at some point. There's so many things we could do to her in the forest too. So many dangers. This is a view at the opposite end. So this is farther south, looking out kind of into the hillside.
Ashland is in the very,
yeah,
see it.
I know you can't see it. I wish I could zoom in. Downtown Ashland is like tucked in the valley down there, but you can't see it. Oh, and then this is this is at Emigrant Lake. So this is above the lake. The lake, okay, I'm going to do another bonus giveaway. Another bake shop ice cream sticker collection. You have to put this in the comments if you know which book. There is a book that was set at Emigrant Lake where Jules finds a skull that was buried in the lake. And this is all a true story. The lake is man-made. There you go. You can see the dock there. And there's a town really buried under the lake that they rerouted from the early 1900s. It was Klamath Junction. And so when the lake levels are low, you can see the tops of the buildings. In fact, this summer, Anna Ross, you got it. You're so quick. Yep, live and let pie. Those are coming to you. You can see the town, which is so creepy. But I didn't have to work hard. I don't have to work hard. Really, what I'm revealing to you right now is that I don't have to work hard for my job, because you see how gorgeous the setting is. You see how much culture and then like funky community I get to work in. And then it's stories like that. There is literally a town buried under that water. How crazy is that? Okay, and then this is a special touch. This is kind of an ode to the tech guy, because he is a lover of all animals. So in the spring, we have just in the last couple of weeks taken up all the deck furniture again, and we spend a large amount of time on our deck where all of the birds come. This little Hummer, he talks to the Hummer. They land on his fingers. Yes, they let him pet them. They do not let me do this. He is the animal whisperer. So you definitely get some of that. Here's a good one. This is his buddy that he trained time and time again to land, get the peanuts. They also now, the Jays are very, what's the word I want to say? Aggressive. They're aggressive about getting their peanuts. Like if he's not outside, they will like come to the fence there and be like, "Where's our peanut? Where's our peanut? Where's our peanut?" You just saw your first, oh wait, I got to go back. You just saw your first hummingbird today, Amy. That's amazing. I know they're so great. I love it so much. Okay, the next one that I'm going to show you is from the other side of our house. We have cameras outside to catch all the wildlife that comes through. That's your husband with dogs. Never met a dog. Oh my gosh, that is 100% us. We will be on a walk and we'll walk by a fence, you know, a gated yard where there's a dog that's like growling and barking and everything like that. And then the tech guy will come by and the dog will like roll over and come up and like nuzzle his head and everything. Yeah. Oh, you have red cardinals. Oh, that's amazing. Karen, you're too scared to do something like that. I know, the birds. Whoo. Who remembers the Hitchcock movie, The Birds? Ooh, that's probably a good one to watch this summer. They should help him get ready. Oh, that's great.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Do you have a sound effect for that? No. Julia, I'm so glad it's giving you a visual. I'm so happy to be able to share. The thing is, like, I love this space, and I think everybody at some point in time should come and check it out. Okay, so before, yes. Carolyn, I'm so excited for June 29th. We're going to talk a little bit about Mocha. I'm like giddy with anticipation. In fact, someone asked me the other day, like, do you ever get to the point where you're just like, oh yeah, I have another book coming out? Never. Ever. I get so excited. Like, I can't wait to share this little space in the world with you. Paul, I walked home from seeing my grandpa in a nursing home. Oh, 399 days. Oh, wow. I saw a cardinal. Oh, I love that, Paula. What a gift. How beautiful. And how lovely that you noticed and you were able to share that.
So we used to have a bunch of bird feeders, but you're going to show them why we don't today.
Yeah, we used to have bird feeders. We're going to get to why we don't in just a second. But okay, so the next video that I'm going to show you is from our side yard. This is this is from a friend who came by late at night. And yeah, this is the side of our house, but wait till the end. Just wait for it. That's my gift to you. Okay. Look at this little guy. He's so cute. A fox. Okay, and you think, yeah, he's just like hanging out. Oh, did you see that? They're so fast. Can I play it again?
Yeah.
Okay, wait for it. Every time I see this, I can't even believe it. Little foxy. There he goes. Gone. What? I had no idea. I've never seen a fox run in real life. So you all will know if Jules gets chased by a fox. Although I don't think foxes probably would chase, right? Maybe she'd try to befriend her. That's a kit fox. Okay, yeah. Maybe she would befriend a fox or something. Hi, Foxy. Exactly. Oh, yes, of course. Okay, and then last but not least is another video. Yeah, he is supersonic, right, Jamie? Like, did he break the sound barrier? I don't know. Like, that's amazing. This is the other type of visitor that we get quite often in the spring in particular. And yeah, you got to wait for it. Oh yeah, the tech guy says, ignore his messy outside workshop. So this is just, your average nighttime bear visit. Just how they go. They got to come down, check it out, see what's happening inside. They'll play around a little bit.
And those are the kids.
Yeah, these are the cubs. Okay, now you think it's done. It's not done. You got to wait for it. These are the cubs. This is why we do not have bird feeders anymore or any. Oh,
that's a sliding glass
that's
door.
the sliding glass door to our basement. Like, hi, buddy, come on in. These are very they're black bears, so they're very Karen, come on. They're just cuddly. They're just cuddly little guys. They just want to come say hi. They are very sweet. Two of them, yeah. The cubs you don't worry about so much. It's like, where's the mom, and don't get in between the cubs and the mom. That's the key. The funny story that I have to tell is, so we don't keep bird feeders out anymore. You never put your trash out. That stays inside until the morning of trash day. Any neighbors who forget, you will see the trash down the street. And of course, they are wild animals. So there's a lot of messaging throughout the city. You don't want to feed any of these animals. We want to keep them in their native habitats. So we're very well aware. And if I'm walking or I'm out hiking, I'm cognizant of bears. They're going to run away. They're brown bears. So you don't
Black
often,
bears.
What did I say? Black bears. Yeah, they're black bears. So they don't really want to interact with people. But my favorite bear story with our own family is that our kiddo was lifeguarding a couple summers ago, and I was heading out to pick him up, and it was 8:00 at night, and so it was starting to get dusky. This was later in the summer. This was probably August, and I walked outside and I looked up at our tree in our front yard, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's there's a man in a big fur coat, doing something in our tree. Is he peeing on our tree? I don't understand. No, it was a bear. Why my first thought was there was a man in a fur coat when it was 90 in August. I don't know. So we get a lot of bear visitors, which is always fun. The fox might have saw the bears. Yeah, he might have seen them. Or mountain. Yeah, we also get cougar. So you got to be very careful with that. Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah, people, yes. In fact, anytime we go out later in the evening, we usually just clap or make some noise if you're going out to the car, because again, we live in the city. So it's not as if we live way up in the mountains. This is right in the heart of Ashland proper. So yeah, because we are in the mountains. Oh, you live next to a major state park and the black bears love climbing the trees. Yes, a couple summers ago we had a family that climbed the tree across the street. And all of our neighbors were down taking pictures and everything. So yeah, it was good stuff.
Especially for Lenny, that the only reason we have cameras outside is because I want to see the wildlife.
Oh yeah, the tech guy's saying the only reason we have cameras outside is for the wildlife. That's it. Yeah. All right, I think that concludes our tour of Ashland in the spring. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you think it's as beautiful as I do. I love getting to write about this place. And of course, because I write fiction and murder mysteries, I take pieces of everything that you've seen and I change them and I make them my own in my imagination. But it's such a great place to be able to write about and share with you. So on that note, we talked a little bit about Mocha She Wrote, which is coming out June 29th. I can't believe we're almost at the end of April. This book, I'm going to do a little bit of a similar thing for our release party night, in that I haven't set anything on the opposite side of town where Mocha She Wrote is set. So I'm going to take a lot of photos of that area and maybe some video. It's kind of on the other side where Uva is by the wineries, but closer into town. So I'm going to share some insight into that space with you. And then I still can't get over this cover. Bake, Borrow, and Steal, book 14, will come out at the end of December. This book is set in the fall, which you can see with the leaves, which will be a great reason to do another tour where we get to see all of the amazing fall foliage and those autumnal hues. And this book is the one that I was talking about that's set on the campus of Southern Oregon University, which also, there's so much to show you that didn't even make the cut for tonight. So I'll be sure to give you a tour of the campus and the university and everything too. Ginger, I'm so glad it's on your bucket list. Come visit, come visit. Let's see. And then, one more. I gotta go one more. What's coming up? Okay, so next Tuesday, we're going to have a May the 4th be with you Star Wars party in honor really just of the tech guy. Let's be real. On May 11th, I'm going to give you a real sneak. Oh, did you add a sound effect? I'm going to give you a real sneak peek of Mocha She Wrote. I'm going to read the first chapter for you. Then we're going to do a spring recipe. I'm going to share my birthday faves because May is my birthday month. And then I have a special bookish guest planned for the first Tuesday in June. And then I have so much fun stuff planned for the release of Mocha She Wrote in June. Yes.
I've got so many questions. One of them
okay.
has to do with, who wants to know.
Can you dress up next week? Oh, please. Absolutely. Yes, that would be awesome. I really would love to have the kiddo make an appearance because he makes these amazing Star Wars helmets, but he got invited to go be at Star Wars a May the 4th event at a shop up in Medford. So Naomi, best time to visit. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, you can see how beautiful it is now. I say the best time to visit is when you could see plays too, when OSF is in season. So in a typical year, OSF runs from March until October. So anytime in that window, I think is good to go. It's kind of nice sometimes to come in the shoulder season, like April or May or September, because you see what it looks like in April, obviously. And September is still warm and beautiful, of course. And it's not quite as crowded as it can be in the summer, but really there's no bad time to come. And crowded is still relative when it comes to Ashland. But yeah, they're definitely like in the summer, the plaza is bustling with tourists and people in town. You can literally watch a show like multiple times a day. There are matinees, you can do backstage tours, the cabarets in town. Yeah, so there's a lot. You hope the Chamber of Commerce is hooking you up. Yeah. I don't get kickbacks. I don't get anything from the Chamber of Commerce. Like, yeah, I should. I got to go talk to them and be like, hey guys. Do the businesses in town know who they are in the books? Yes, that's a great question, Chris. Yes, in fact, many of them I've done partnerships with, and that would be a fun, maybe I'll have to do a tour when we do the map where you see like who all or what all of the real businesses are. And then of course there are some businesses that are completely fictional. The biggest one that comes to mind is Richard Lord's Mary Windsor Hotel is not in the plaza. That is actually City Hall, where I imagine it to be. Although I did learn a few years ago that, I don't know, in the like 1940s or 50s, apparently it was a hotel. So maybe I knew that somehow through osmosis or something. Oh, Mary, I should have added a picture of Tort. That's so funny. I didn't even think about it. I've done that before. Okay, I will do that for Mocha She Wrote. Yeah, we didn't see where Tort sits on the plaza. That's my bad, but I'll do it for the next one, okay? For the couple of you who won stickers tonight, after the live, send me a private message with your address and I'll send them out to you. Yay. Oh, this is your first time, Lisa? Awesome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, and I'm so glad that you're enjoying the books too. That makes my day. Eek. All right, well, I think that wraps up our tour. Thanks for joining me. Sorry if I'm a little rummy from my shot, but I'm excited to be vaccinated and I'm excited to hug people again. If you see me, when and if we have book tours again, it will happen again at some point in time, and you see me like this in real life, I have to give you a fair warning that I will probably like hug you. That's who I am. So you'll be like, whoa, okay, back off. I know you on the Facebook screen. Do not invade my personal space. Okay. I hope you all can join us next week for May the 4th. We'll have some Star Wars fun. This one's going to be like the Tech Guy show all the way. So,
It's going to be, and there's going to be giveaways.
oh, and there's going to be giveaways. Right. Special giveaways.
So it has nothing
Okay.
to do with Cozy Mysteries, but you don't have to be a big Star
Right.
Wars fan to come and have fun.
Okay, he's saying you're going to have to be mic'd for this
I will
one.
be
Yeah,
mic'd,
okay,
yeah.
he's going to be mic'd for this one. He says it is not about Cozy Mysteries. There's no we're not making announcements that I'm writing a Star Wars Cozy Mystery, although maybe. No, it's going to be about Star Wars, but you don't have to be a fan to enjoy it and appreciate it. There you go. Awesome. Okay, on that note, have a good night.